with the Thai farmers? How are they doing farming there? So we'd like to know about it.
Okay. Actually, like in India, the agriculture sector is the most important politically. Actually, as part of GDP, it's only 4%. So most of the national GDP earnings come from industrial sector and services. And services has now overtaken industrial sector. But since farmers are generally, including in India, the perception is that they are the backbone of the country, and most of the poorer people are in the farming sector. Farming sector is very important for us. I think some of the issues that we share with India is that we can always improve our productivity. So even though Thailand, has been top, 2 or 3, usually we like to be #1 rice exporter, but we're competing with India, Vietnam, to be the top rice exporter. But if you look at the productivity per, unit of land, it's not the highest. So that is one area where governments are always trying to improve that. But if we compare to other agricultural giants, like the Europeans, the Americans, they have moved on, from producing the most to getting the highest value from their produce. So the top food exporter is the US. Thailand, we might celebrate that we are, or you might consider that Thailand is an important player, but we are only 13th largest, and we export around between 2 and 3 billion US dollars per month. That's a nice figure, but the Americans, they export 10 billion per month. Are they exporting more of the raw materials? No, it's processed. So while we produce corn for animal feed, the Americans may do top secret microwave popcorn. And if you compare per unit, per kilo, the earnings from that is much more. So the future is in both productivity and in food processing. But within food processing, there are niche markets as well, like organic, or and then producing new products that the consumer wants, like clean food. We can use the example of quinoa. Now it's available everywhere, and people are willing to pay a premium for that because it's associated with clean, healthy living, right? So you can create markets. So the production is only the first part. I think the important thing that we in India and Thailand can do is to share knowledge and travel around to trade shows to learn about each other's technology. In Thailand, we have the Smart Farmer scheme. So what is a smart farmer? I think it's similar with India. You use ICT, information communications technology. You already know the price in the market that day. So somebody's not going to come and trick you or fool you, into believing that the price is something else, because you can check. And you can check which region or where you can get better, return. You can check weather conditions. You have access to knowledge and so on. So smart farmer, and then the government can also help, with the knowledge. The other one is, in trade shows and so on, you can learn from Western countries on how they use technology. I keep using this example, like in Thailand, there's a billionaire who graduated from university, and then he likes to have snacks. Then he was thinking of something that is clean and green. And he thought of seaweed snack. And now he's a billionaire. But then my ministry took smart farmers to Holland, Netherlands, and then we saw this seaweed producing factory. which that's where the seaweed is produced in a room, not in the sea, you know, but they have pipes running continuously, and you know the seawater is flowing, and then the seaweed is grown and harvested from there. And you know, I could even make the connection that if this technology is available to the billionaire young guy in Thailand, he will be even more rich. You know, there's always new technology around. Now the trend that is coming, it's already here, is that consumers care a lot about how they eat, and this is also evident in India. People talk about clean, affordable food. So tiffin box, it's not just about affordability and convenience, it's about cleanliness, you know. It's the same in the Western world. People want to know what they're eating, where their food is coming from, and this is what is called traceability. Okay, they want to know that for the sake of cleanliness, but they also want to know whether it's the food is produced in according to, you know, international labor standards and so on, whether you're using victims of human trafficking or slave labor or not, and that is traceability. So people are demanding that they know every step of the production. So one of the food processing companies that is already in India for the past 20 years, but they want to move up to the next level, is CP Agriculture, CP Food. So they're negotiating with Haryana to have 100% traceable food production, starting from the animal feed, you know, to the chicken, to the eggs, and so on, into the production. All will be within the control of one company. But people like to think that, oh, this will be contract farming or so on and so forth. No. The model will be, since India you have a lot of cooperatives, it will be a partnership between government, company, cooperatives, and each will take share, you know. Government may provide certain hardware, you know, the land or whatever, you know, or co-op may own the land, and the company will guarantee 10% return, whether there's a profit or loss. Okay. That you will have. And usually the model will be after 10 years, they have already recouped their capital cost. You know, the farmer, the cooperative may get the 10% return on investment plus any profits. Then the land will be given back with all the construction that is on there, all with the machinery and everything. So in that way, you don't have to worry about land ownership and so on and so forth. This model has been used successfully in China as well. So the risk for the farmer is lower, meaning you're guaranteed 10%. At the end of 10 years or whatever is negotiated, everything that is on your land is yours. Now, the company, they do make profit, you know, because it's not a charity, but the way they've done business is they prefer to make smaller profit on a larger volume than higher profit on shorter volume. And we hope to try to, you know, to launch this model in India. And if it works in Haryana, then they can expand to others. The other good thing that people don't talk about enough about being an agricultural country, you know, I have to admit that I used to think that agriculture is very old-fashioned, you know, and why don't we, you know, produce industrial goods and sell services, and we can make much more money and then buy everyone else's food. But then, you know, if you observe around the world, a lot of governments, I think all governments, attach importance on food security. Okay, and then since I have an economics background, we would say, oh, you can easily have food security. As long as you have trade, you have food security. But when things are not smooth, you know, there is political turmoil, there is conflict, can you be guaranteed access to that food? Not all the time, not necessarily. That's why people need energy stockpiles. That's why people are interested in stockpiling food. And Thailand has told them, no problem. You know, you can have your silos in Thailand, you know, and you can have that food anytime. Not enough, because you know that even if you have money in the bank, you have to have some cash with you. So food security is very important for countries, and I think that those that have the ability to produce food and have, you know, can guarantee their food security, we are blessed. So no matter that India is going to send children or whoever, man, woman, in space by 2022, agriculture is still something that the other sectors have to help ensure will still exist, because it's part of the nation's strength and security. But of course we can do everything better, right? And you know, like the Japanese, coming back to adding value. You will get one price for a round watermelon, but maybe you can get double the price for a square watermelon. And I've seen pictures of people in Myanmar growing a square bamboo tree, which is very easy. You know, you have the young bamboo tree, then you have 4 pieces of wood nailed together, and when it comes out, it's square. And when you slice it, you know, it looks nicer, and then it can also, you know, make a very nice, you know, coaster. Yes, and so on. So that's all. And then another option for India is all the you know, the cosmetics and so on, you know, body products that come from agricultural products. You know, that's another big market that Thailand and India are going in the same direction.
So sir, when we talk about countries like us and India and Thailand, we generally try to do some innovative things, or we try a lot of things to uptrend the economic GDPs and so on. So sir, what are the things that India can learn from Thailand and Thailand can learn from India?
I think we can learn more ways of, number one, you know, certainly you have more mango varieties than us, okay? We have less. I thought that Thailand is, everyone thinks their country is the best, okay? Like us, Indonesia, Malaysia, we compete on who has the best durian. But somehow I don't think durian is for the Indian market. But the Chinese love durian, okay? Anyway, so we can learn. I think your biotechnology, you know, your agricultural science is excellent, like in terms of the mangoes. I've been to, you know, mango festival in Delhi and so on. The varieties are so much, there's so much research here. In Thailand, there's a lot of research, but I think people are focused more on the modern sectors of the economy. So in agricultural research, there is some, but not as much as in India. But companies that are in the food industry, they do their own research, and they hire a lot of researchers. So from my perspective, you know, the collaboration may be in, you know, biotech and in research. And also the other one is developing new products and packaging. Packaging is something that a Thai company they're looking to acquire Indian company to do packaging, because packaging adds value, you know, to the product. For example, banana. I think there's a difference between Indian banana and Thai banana. In India, the banana costs 6 rupees, right? In Thailand, it's 16 rupees each. But from my taste, the Indian banana is not so sweet. Okay, we like it a little bit more sweet. And if we know from the American and European example, where they bought bananas from Latin America, they like everything to look nice and yellow, no spots, nothing. Okay, so this is like adjusting to the market. But bananas are an excellent food, and in Thailand they sell them in convenience stores, and it has good reputation already. It's like eating an egg, the value, nutritional value from egg compared to the cost. It's very good value, and same as bananas. And mangoes, we can also collaborate because you have many varieties. We also have many varieties, and we have many ways of eating it. And packaging is important. We have a lot of dried fruit and so on and so forth, but the packaging can add value to the product. Yes.
So a lot of Indians go to Thailand for tourism purposes, but the same doesn't reflect in India. So would you like to give a message to the Indian community and to the Thailand community?
Yes, I think it's changing already, because you have to understand that what in the industry they call the touch points, they're more for Indians going to Thailand, because you'll say that number one, Indians like that there's a variety of things, many things to do. A lot of people like the Thai food, okay? Although vegetarians do complain that the choices are not wide enough. And then we are always trying to sell new selling points, like Indian wedding. And now they're even doing ladies trip and so on, so on and so forth. So we're trying to find them more ways of marketing Thailand. Now, coming back to Thais coming to India. India is known as the land of Lord Buddha. Okay, most people that are into religion and so on, they're later, they will be later in their life. Okay, so the tourists coming for that are already more mature. The areas of the Buddhist trail, places like Varanasi and so on and so forth, they're for reflection. It's not, and so a lot of people have the impression that India is like Varanasi, the poverty and so on and so forth. The young people, they're not looking for that. But now with the social media, internet, Facebook, they're coming to places like Leh, Ladakh, Sri Lanka, and the Golden Triangle, in the Delhi, Jaipur, and Rajasthan. These people will change the perception of India, and these people are also the ones that are educated in India, secondary school, university. It will change. But of course, you shouldn't be too upset that there's 14 lakh Indians going to Thailand and there's maybe 1.4 lakh, Thais coming to India. The number is increasing, and number two, our population is a lot smaller than population of India. But what I can notice from this embassy is that there are more airlines seeking to fly between India and Thailand. Okay? Now, the metro cities, there's a capacity problem. But for the tier 2 cities, it's open sky policy. So once, you get approval from Government of India, Directorate General for Civil Aviation, then it can happen. And then these flows will increase. But it's from the young people, not from the older people. So our job at this embassy is twofold. Number one, to get Thais to see India in a new light, not just Buddha and then Varanasi burning the corpses and how to adopt the Buddhist and earthly ways, to not want anything and so on and so forth, prepare for death, but to see what India has to offer, the new India, but also for Indians to see Thailand beyond you know, the main tourist destinations, Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai, the 3 or 4 Thai dishes that you know, pad Thai, green curry, and you know, papaya salad and so on. We have more to offer as well, you know, and when you're going to shows like Agritech, then you know, we might have other links. We have so many other links. Not all of them are historical. They should be links into the future. We are at the point, you know, in English, on the cusp of the next chapter in our relationship, and it would be modern things.
So to end with, would you like to comment something upon our magazine?
Yes. I'm happy, you know. I have to apologize to the viewers that this magazine edition is spoiled by my picture on the front. But in India, people read a lot, and the readership, you know, of agriculture world is very broad. 10 crore, right? 1 crore, the readership, and I like to think that the magazine is a good link, you know, between those that are able to go and see the outside world. You know, the magazine who is able to attend trade shows, goes to important agricultural players around the world. That through, you know, the magazine, Indian farmers, especially young upcoming ones or those who are very modern-minded, can think about how they can do better, you know, for their own agricultural business, but also for the country. So I think the magazine plays a valuable role, and I appreciate, you know, the interest in Thailand and the interest in me, and I hope that I can learn that the benefit is 2 ways, and I can also learn from you.
Thank you so much.